At Taurus Marketing, CEO Sharon Williams takes pride in those she chooses to work with and support. As she says, she grows people, brands and businesses and creates long-term relationships and friendships with people we like and believe in. No bull. It is, she believes, a measure of her success. And one of these people she is choosing to work with is Melissa Reeder, who heads up Violet. It's a not-for-profit that helps people through the last stages of life. Melissa and Sharon met in the saddest of circumstances and have decided to partner to build awareness of the need to understand more about our preparation for death and dying. Today I'm joined by Sharon and Melissa. Welcome, Sharon and Melissa.
Hi. Hi, Jacinta.
So I thought I'd ask you first, Melissa, tell us about your journey and how it was that you came on board with Violet.
Yeah, look, it was really through a very difficult experience where I was caring for my first husband through a very aggressive cancer disease and a very unexpected set of circumstances. We were a pretty normal family, young kids, ran our own business, and he had a very difficult diagnosis very, very fast. And I think that's an incredibly difficult thing to go through generally. But what I found really, really hard was that we just couldn't talk about it. We couldn't have any honest and open conversations about what was happening to him, to his health. We couldn't talk to his medical team, we couldn't talk to our families, and we couldn't talk to each other. So it really played out pretty tragically through the course of his illness. He spent a lot of time in hospital in the last couple of months of his life, having surgeries and all sorts of treatments that I think he might have chosen not to have if we'd been able to really understand the situation that we were in and that he was in. And we were totally unprepared for his death. You know, he died in a clinical setting. It was very impersonal, and he hadn't really left a will either. So I came out of that as a single, self-employed mother of 3 very young children, and it was a bit of a shambles. And having come through that, I think it gave me a very good window, very clear insight into what we need to do better, the parts of the system that we really need to do better with.
Yeah, you certainly have that first-hand knowledge to be running a company like this. And so Sharon and Melissa, you obviously have a great partnership now, but you met through really tragic circumstances. Tell us about how you came to find each other.
So I was lucky enough to find Melissa when I posted on LinkedIn that my mummy was fading and she was possibly in the last stages of life. And mum's always been such a big part of my business and my life that lots of people in my world of work know her. And in one of those little messages that came back of support, of which there were many, Melissa sent me a private message saying, I think I might be able to help, look at this. And I grasped onto that and rang Violet. And they were the ladies that I spoke to. Basically, I only met them 2 or 3 weeks before Mummy died, but they did 3 or 4 counselling sessions with me and certainly better prepared me. No one can ever be prepared for the loss of someone dear to you, but they better prepared me for what we were about to go through. It was magical, and I just think that everyone should know about it.
And when you reached out, Melissa, you did that just to help someone in need, but it's led to this wonderful partnership with Taurus and with Sharon. How will Sharon help your plans for the future with Violet, do you think?
I think that we're entering kind of this partnership through lived experience. We've both been through this and we both know how important that help and preparation and acceptance is. And Sharon just brings incredible energy and incredible generosity to every conversation that we've had. So I'm really looking forward to the work we'll do together, and it comes at such an important time for Violet because we need to lift the profile of this organisation so we can help tens of thousands of people each year who need it.
I know you're really changing the face of Violet. What does the future look like? What are your plans?
Really big ambitions for this organisation. So we want to build an organisation that is a national not-for-profit that becomes like Beyond Blue or Lifeline, a really well-known, household name and brand that people can turn to when they're navigating all parts of the last stage of life and the grief and loss that accompanies it. So we want to be able to provide national support services. That's what we're currently doing. We want to scale those services through product and technology. And we want to begin working much more with all the businesses whose work intersects with the last stage of life. So the places that we turn to for help, the banks, the insurers, the aged care providers, so that they can improve their work in this area as well.
It's certainly something that's very needed and overlooked in this community. Why have you chosen Sharon and Taurus to work with? How are they going to help you, do you think?
I think the skill and the passion, absolutely, that will come through the work that Sharon will do and bring to us. We're thrilled. We're really looking forward to see where it goes.
And Sharon, tell us what you're hoping to achieve with this company, with Violet.
Yes, thank you, Jacinta. I'm hoping to support Melissa move closer to the goals that she wants for the organisation, and to, with my mother's legacy and the strengths of Taurus, help her there. And this is from personal experience of my 2 adult daughters being in the room when their nana died and not knowing what was going to happen, right the way through to being an employer and realizing the time out I had to take and the impact on a business when I lost my mother. So from the big 4 down to those having personal experiences, bereavement affects on every single level, from the corporate industry, profitability, productivity, down to mental health and well-being. So it's something that I believe in and that I want to champion. And I'm hoping that, I know we'll do it, that in 12 months we will have lifted the brand of Violet.
I know that you have that same faith and belief that that's going to happen for Violet as well, working with Sharon. I imagine it's very hard to narrow this down, but if you had to pick one thing that you've learnt from Sharon so far, what would you say?
Absolute authenticity. I think from the minute we connected through LinkedIn, we're both reasonably active in that space, and I got just such a genuine, heartfelt response, and Sharon's brought that to every conversation. So I know that she is someone that we can deeply trust, that'll tell us what we need to be doing and what we don't need to be doing, and for all the right reasons, with the very best of intentions.
How lovely. No bull.
No bull. That's right. That's right.
And what would you say, Melissa, to others who want to work with Taurus?
I think it's a privilege and an opportunity. I think there are a multitude of big agency brands out there today, and they're doing great work, no doubt, but there's sometimes a gap in terms of the personal alignment with the work that's being done and delivered, and I think that's something that's very unique and certainly is very much a part of Sharon's leadership and Taurus's work.
Well, it sounds like we're going to be hearing a lot more about Violet in the coming year and beyond, and that's largely due to your work with Sharon, so thank you for sharing that with us today.
Thank you, Jacinta. Thank you,
Thank
Melissa.
you.